Yo, what's up, guys? It's me, Anthony, bringing you guys another video, guys. And listen, today I wanted to discuss with you the only supplement that you'll ever need, the only supplement that I think is worth your money, the only supplement that I have found genuine results from, the only supplement that honestly changed the whole dynamic of lifting for me personally, guys. And without further ado, that supplement is...
Yeah, I hate to say it, but I fell in love again. We need a vacation, so we took a trip to France. I just spent 2,000 on a shirt and pair of pants. If you niggas couldn't tell, I'm never going broke again.
That supplement is creatine, guys. And creatine is one of the most, controversial, and I say that with the air quotes because, so many people, when I first started lifting, of my friends that took creatine, or, the people, it was almost like we thought of creatine, at least in high school for me, was like a steroid. We're like, he takes creatine. But it's, now that I've studied it and know more about it and know more about what it does, creatine actually is one of the most highly studied supplements out there. It's probably the most, because it's the benefits. I've actually heard people go as far as say the creatine is like a steroid if you really use it correctly, but that's not true, guys. There are ways to manipulate your creatine intake, cycling on and off it. It's one I've heard. You can load creatine. I know on the directions on that, it tells you how to load creatine. I've never loaded. I just take my 5 milligrams, or I think it's 5 grams a day, just a scoop. And I usually just do it with water, dry scoop it and then just sip water with it. But I've had great results with creatine. I'm not really going to get into anything scientific here, just my experience and why I think it's beneficial. I definitely noticed that I was able to lift longer on it when I first started taking it, and now, I noticed the results were there. I clearly got results, and ever since then, there's no looking back. I haven't lost any creatine, I guess it just fills you. It filled me with water, so I started drinking a gallon of water a day with it, and that's when I really did see peak results. And I really do think that creatine, especially because it's so cost effective, it's cheap. You can get that tub was $10, and it lasts it's got 90 servings in it. It's one of the cheapest, most studied, most effective supplements. There's, and it baffles me that there's still people out there that are lifting weights and aren't taking creatine, but they're still going to load up on pre-workouts and all that stuff and BCAAs, but they don't want to take creatine because of kidney failure or stuff like that, guys. Creatine does not cause that. Read the studies, read into it. It just takes a common Google search to figure out that how studied creatine really is and how beneficial creatine really can be for bodybuilding or just weightlifting in general, guys. It not only makes you stronger, like I said, recovery times, and it's one of those supplements that is not just a placebo. You see, you literally see your muscles fill with water. You get you can tell you're bigger. And I guess one of my main concerns with creatine when I first started was that I would get fluffy, or because they say you get water bloated. That does not happen. If anything, I felt, it's weird. If anything, I felt maybe drier and more cut. I know a lot of people say they stop taking creatine when they're cutting, and I think that's the biggest mistake you can make, because when you're cutting, that's almost when you need creatine more, because you're not having you're not getting the extra carbs or the extra fats to help fill you up. Creatine is literally one of your main sources to help keep you full. So, or not full in a sense hungry, but full in your arms and your just whole body in general. So, guys, bottom line here is creatine. Yes, get it. It's the only supplement I think you'll ever actually need. Again, quotes on need, because you don't need any supplement. But I do think creatine is so beneficial, and I do think that if you are looking for one supplement, and not for a magic trick or not for a magic pill, but I do think, guys, that creatine is something you should really consider here. So, guys, as you know, I am sponsored by Cetaphil, guys. Make sure you use Cetaphil, guys. It's one of the put it on your hands, put it everywhere, guys. Cetaphil is great for, especially in the winter months. Guys, I'm not sponsored. I'm nearing 500 subs, guys. So if you want to sponsor me, make sure you send me an email. The email is in my about section probably. Anyways, guys, if you made it this far in the video, I really wanted to thank you. Today was probably not the most interesting video, but it was informative. I hope informative. But yeah, so make sure you follow me on Instagram. It'll be on the screen right here. Make sure you drop a like. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you spam that comment section. And thank you guys. Let's hit 500 and let's keep this thing rolling into 2019. And yeah, so we're going to roll that outro. I'm going to go to class and some gym footage coming tomorrow or the next day probably. So I'm out.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but I fell in love again.